where should you invest in your 20s? Which investment vehicles should you pick to start investing in your 20s? Number one, real estate. I know that you don't have the millions of shillings required to buy large pieces of land, rental buildings, buy plots of land at the coast and such things. But that doesn't mean that you can't start investing in real estate in your 20s. How then can you start investing in real estate with little money? Through a vehicle called real estate investment trusts. Real estate investment trusts work in the same way money market funds work. So we are pulling our money together and we are giving that money to a fund manager who invests that money in real estate assets. And when they invest that money in real estate assets, the profits that they get from renting or from rental income, for example, they pay it back to us in terms of dividends. And so in Kenya, for example, you can start investing in real estate investment trust with as little as 1,000 shillings. And I'm going to do a whole video on how to start investing in real estate with as low as 1,000 shillings through that vehicle called real estate investment trust. But in the meantime, if you really want to grab that opportunity, I will link an article in the description box that has all the juicy details on how you can start investing in real estate investment trust. So you do not have to wait until your 50s to start investing in real estate, because that is the time that you think you're going to have the millions of shillings or even billions to put up rentals or buy large parcels of land. As soon as today, you can start owning a share of the real estate market using real estate investment trusts. So a second way that you can start investing when you're young or when you're in your 20s is through your employer retirement fund. I've asked a lot of people whether their employer provides a pension fund, and astonishingly, a lot of people have told me that they don't know. This is either because they did not fully read their employment document when they got the contract, or their human resources manager or their employer does not actively make sure that people sign up to their employer retirement fund. And so I would want you, the next time you go to work, to ask your human resource manager or your employer if they provide an employer retirement fund. Because if they do and you haven't been signed up so far, it means that you've been leaving free money on the table. Because most of the time, how these employer retirement funds work is that they deduct an X amount of money from your salary, and then your employer matches the exact amount of money. So if they deduct 5,000 shillings from your paycheck every month to go towards your pension fund or your retirement fund, then your employer matches the same exact amount of money, 5,000 shillings. So that is free money. That is an 100% return, and that is actually an 100% return is basically the most lucrative investment you'll probably ever get when you're in your 20s. So go ask your employer, and if they do, make sure you sign up for that fund. Number three, that way for you to invest when you're in 20s is through a group. One of the key lessons I learned when I was younger, you'd think I'm 50, is that when you're young, you're either very rich or very many. I'm guessing you're watching this video because you're not very rich, because otherwise if you were, you'd be somewhere in the Bahamas or Maldives doing your thing, but here you are with me. So now that you're not very rich, you can take advantage of being very many by joining a group of like-minded young people where you form a chama or an investment group and start investing together. Why is this important? Because as a group, you can chip in small amounts of money, and when that amount of money is added up together, you are able to buy a large asset, as opposed to if you do it alone. It means, and you're saving, let's say, 1,000 shillings per month, it will take you forever. It will take you 10 years or even more for you to be able to accumulate an amount of money that can buy you a large asset. And another thing that makes belonging to an investment group an advantage is that you have the bargaining power. There's bargaining power in numbers and in huge sums of money. So when you're buying an asset, for example, you're able to bargain and get it at a fair deal, as opposed to when you're alone. And being in a chama or being in an investment group has also taught me collaboration, which is something that is a very important skill you need to learn when you're a young person. Being able to collaborate with other people, that is the only way you'll be able to that is one of the key ways you'll be able to build wealth in when you're young, because you need other people. especially when if you're not born into a rich family like me, you need other people in order for you to build wealth. So go out there, find your friends, or find people you trust, or find people who have their mindset in the right place. Form an investment group. We draft a constitution, yes, so that somebody doesn't run away with your money. Draft a constitution. Start putting your money towards correct investment vehicles. Even if it means starting with a money market fund, start there and build up. Another way you can invest when you're in the stock market, I tell people, if you're below the age of 55, you should have the higher percentage of your investment portfolio should be in the stock market. So investing in the stock market means owning a piece of a business. And you really do need to own a piece of business if you're serious about building wealth. That is the only way to build serious wealth. And because we say that the stock market is the highest returning investment vehicle in the world, it beats everything else. It beats real estate, it beats money market funds, it beats bonds. So if you choose not to invest in the stock market, it means you're choosing not to build wealth, as fast as you're meant to build. And we will do this being a new channel, it means we haven't done videos on everything, but I have an article on the wealthtribe.com where you can find a beginner's guide, a complete beginner's guide on how to start investing in the stock market, and we will also link, as always, in the description box. Another way you can start investing when you're young is through government bills, treasury bills, and treasury bonds. We already did a long video or a complete guide to how to start investing in treasury bills that I will link. But when it comes to treasury bonds, we're going to do a whole guide on it. But basically, investing in treasury bills and treasury bonds means loaning money to the government to fund its various projects. And when you loan money to the government, it will pay you back all your money plus interest. That sounds like a good deal, as opposed to only being stuck with just paying taxes. Take advantage of your government, help it do its infrastructural projects, for example, and when you do that, it will pay you back all your money with interest. And in fact, government bills and bonds is one of the safest investment vehicles, so hop on it. Get the minimum amount of money you need to start investing in government bills, which is 50,000 for government bill, or for treasury bills it's 100,000. For government bonds it's 50,000. So save up that amount of money, and you can save up that amount of money in the next investment vehicle that I'm about to talk about, money market funds. What are money market funds? Money market funds is basically when we pull our money together. James, Minor, Paul, Agatha, we pull our money together, give it to a professional fund manager who invests our money on our behalf, and by giving them our money, they assign us units, and we earn income from investing in money market fund. That is basically what a money market fund is. And again, I did a whole video, a detailed guide on how to start investing in money market funds, because it's one of the easiest it's one of the easiest and safe investments available in Kenya. And also it's very, very easy to start investing in money market funds, because you only need a minimum of 2,500 shillings. And in fact, there are money market funds nowadays where you can start investing with as little as 100 shillings. So it is possible for each one of us to start building wealth in our 20s. And those are the 6 ways that I would recommend for you to start investing your money when you're in your 20s. If you onboard all this in your portfolio, slowly by slowly, again, you don't stretch yourself too thin. You don't have to do all of them together. You can start with one. You can start, for example, with a money market fund, because it is the easiest entry and the cheapest entry. And again, you can even start again with a real estate investment trust, because you only need 1,000 shillings, and grow from there, slowly by slowly. Here at the Wealth Tribe, we are very proud of people who are willing to take the baby steps. Take the stairs, not the elevator. You're still young. You still have time in abundance. We will build wealth. Trust me.